Welcome back, guys. Arjun here from Adam Renovations. Hope everything's well. Thank you for tuning in. We finally have some bright weather outside, which I will be able to enjoy a little bit later in the afternoon. But for now, I'm with you, and a topic that I would like to discuss, which will hopefully help you with your project, is understanding pricing and why some builders are more expensive than others. I think that will be very useful for you guys. So would you say this sounds familiar? You're ready to hire a builder for your project. You've sent inquiries to several companies for pricing and you have received them in a week or two or whatever the lead time is. So great. Now all that's left is to go through them and choose a good fit based on quality and price. But why is it that you have such a selection of prices? Shouldn't they be all similar? Well, actually, no. Often enough, you'll be comparing apples with oranges without even realizing it. What we mean to say is that the companies of different sizes have different expenses and salary structures. If you found a local builder who has few people on his team, the chances are that they have no overheads related to renting an office, for example, or buying equipment, or any kind of stuff expenses within the office. In short term, it's great because you obviously pay less. However, if you think ahead and try to mitigate the risks altogether, then it's not so great. What I mean, the essential part of planning and managing won't be as good unless you're very lucky with the people you're dealing with. Required insurance is another issue where the policy covers might not be enough to guarantee the works that are being undertaken. A policy taken in 2009, for example, would cost the builder in the region of £3,000. That would be public liability, employer's liability, and professional indemnity. So, if it's a small-time builder, then that will set him about £3,000 or even more to get that. So not everyone is crazy about this prospect of spending thousands of pounds on things that might seem to not matter right that very moment. Because let's face it, not everyone is doing things by the book, and you have to be careful. Did you hear the word overheads? What does it actually mean? This can sometimes sound like an excuse when contractors justify their costs, but it's a real thing. It means the company has things like business premises, rates to pay, vehicles, office staff, equipment, as mentioned earlier, marketing, sales, and everything to do with the business that is behind the scenes that you don't see and don't necessarily participate in. Someone needs to pay this, and normally that is the customers. On the other hand, if it's a good company, obviously, you get to enjoy using a well-structured company with management, quality control, and excellent work ethic. However, I would love to say this is a given if you pay, but unfortunately it isn't. So you do need to research and go for someone recommended. Preliminaries is another word that often raises eyebrows when comparing costs with one another, as these can fluctuate wildly. In essence, this is a section where you're supposed to add all the running costs on site, such as plant, machinery, rubbish removal, management, temporary services, scaffolding, and other professional fees. The reason why the costs can be different is because some companies are very good in fooling themselves that they can spend less, only to realize halfway that this is impossible, and then having to go back to the client to plea or make cockamamie story about something not being included, even though it should have been. The rates and salaries will vary depending on their payroll. With a general rule that the cheapest is the least quality orientated. There is a fine line between reasonable pricing and made up costs that don't represent the reality of the situation, so you have to be very careful here. The allowances for kitchens, bathrooms, tiles, worktops, things like that It can be very different, and so it's crucial to pay attention to what is being put into the contract. As if it's too small, you will go over the budget when purchasing them, and if it's too high, you will need to ask for cost reduction, which you might not get subject to the contract you sign. So again, things to consider. In conclusion, stay vigilant and check thoroughly, as otherwise you might be under the impression that you took the best deal on the table, and it will be painful to know if you'd find out later that in reality that wasn't the case. Thanks for watching, guys. It was my pleasure to share some of the knowledge we accumulated over the years. Have a great day, and I will see you soon. Thank you.